do I think shipwrecked means? Because we have an actual definition of shipwrecked. Let's take a look. So to illustrate, this is what they were talking about here. This is what he was reading from. Persons rendered unconscious, otherwise incapacitated by wound, sickness, or shipwreck. Persons who've been rendered unconscious or otherwise incapacitated by wound, sickness, or shipwreck, such that they are no longer capable of fighting, or oars to combat. Let's see. Anyway, that's what he was referring to. But what does shipwrecked mean in the laws of war? What does shipwrecked mean? Well, we have a definition, fortunately enough, under B. Shipwreck means persons, whether military or civilian, who are in peril at sea or in other waters as a result of misfortune affecting them or the vessel carrying them. Misfortune. They hit a reef. They got caught in a storm. They got demasted. A whale knocked a hole in the bottom of their ship. Misfortune. Bad luck. Not the result of combat. Their ship was wrecked by a bomb. That's not a shipwreck for purposes of the laws of war. Laws of war. As this account also notes, they were not shipwrecked. They were not shipwrecked. Of course, Spicy PMS says the Department of Defense disagrees with your definition. No, they don't. As I just showed you here, the definition is a shipwrecked by misfortune, not by combat operations. Those are two different things. Two different things. And of course, they don't like that answer from the JAG lawyer, Brian Cox. Here's my buddy Kurt Schlichter. He'll be on the show tomorrow to talk about his book, Panama Red, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Join me for Kurt's guest appearance on the Branca Show. Democrats say, listen to the military lawyers. Military lawyer says, that's not a war crime. Democrats, no, not that military lawyer. Then this guy writes, to complete the logic, since they were not legitimate targets while in the water, it follows that they were not legitimate targets while in the boat. That's a complete misrepresentation of what's going on here. Remember, Brian Cox's argument was that they were not combatants. So you have to qualify for protection under the laws of war. Not everybody qualifies. Not everybody is a combatant for purposes of the law of war. This guy says, oh, well, they were not ever legitimate targets for military force. And Kurt responds, Ed Whelan appears to be arguing you cannot attack an enemy unless he is prepared and can fight back effectively. That's an interesting take. And of course, it's nonsense. None your damn business, who's a combat vet on X, wrote, I'm done with losers trying to tell America how to wage a war by defining what is or isn't a war crime or a legitimate target. We didn't let the Germans win that argument during World War I, not going to let these a-holes win it now. There was a international law against the use of shotguns. We used quite a lot of shotguns in World War I in trench fighting. That goes triples for never serveds like Ed Whelan. And this is a little video clip of a German soldier and an American Marine appearing behind him in the trench in World War I, wielding you guessed it, a pump-action shotgun with a bayonet mount. A bayonet mount. I'll let the cartoon play a full loop. I don't know if I showed it to you. There's the German, there's the Marine, there's the pump-action shotgun with the bayonet mount, and now it's time to party. Chick, chick, and we're ready to go. And I note here, international law is for losers, folks. International law, anyone arguing international law is arguing from a losing position. International law is not a suicide pact. America is not obliged. The president, the elected, democratically elected, Article 2, executive branch president of the United States, is not obliged to let Americans die because of international law. That's not a thing. International law is best understood as kind of a gentleman's agreement between different sovereign nations on a set of rules that they each think will mutually benefit each other. It's good to have laws of war so that everything isn't utter chaos, right? You don't want women and children just arbitrarily machine gunned down. That wouldn't be a good thing for any civilized society to want to have happen. But the laws of war, and international law in particular, are not intended to allow a nation's citizens simply to be arbitrarily killed by the irregular chemical warfare of Venezuelan terrorist gangs. And by the way, we know all of this is a lie because this is the boat, my friends. This is the boat that everyone is talking about. You tell me if there were survivors. This is the September 2nd boat. There's no volume, but look at all the bags of children's toys. You see the survivors? And now it's just looping back. So it's all a lie. There were no survivors. And I encapsulate all of that in this post. First of all, I say the lie that we killed survivors in the water is just a lie, obviously. Second, these people were not shipwrecked, which under the laws of war is the result of misfortune. These guys were deliberately blown up. It's a different thing. Third, a person has to qualify as a lawful combatant in order to be protected as a lawful combatant under the laws of war. Civilians who are not uniformed, who are not in a recognized chain of command, who are engaged in irregular chemical warfare against the United States are not lawful combatants. They are terrorists, and terrorists do not benefit from the protections of the laws of war. Fourth, the laws of war are intended for a civilized enemy who engages in reciprocity on the laws of war. Terrorists engaged in irregular, undeclared chemical warfare against the United States are in violation of the laws of war. The appropriate consequence for violating the laws of war is reprisal. And reprisal would justify even the machine gunning of these survivors in the water. Had there actually been survivors who were killed, it would have been completely legally justified. Let's see. All right, let me just catch up on the super chats. Hey, Amandine, a Rumble rant, $5. Let me give Amandine a chat. I listened to Barnes argue that these strikes are unlawful and the U.S. doesn't have a greater right to self-defense than U.S. citizens. How would you respond to that argument? Well, no. The president can do things in defense of the nation that I can't
illegal in Canada now, has been for many years. They described it as too dangerous. Illegal in Canada now, has been for many years. They described it as too dangerous.
Sorry, I'm still getting things figured out here. I was distracted. Oh, where's my Chrome? That's it. All right, there we go. Let's just get the camera up and we're all ready to go. Put some music on.
Well, the door's open.
Yep, so is my microphone.
Oh, sorry.
All right, where are we going again? Music.
I'm saying you can't sell liquor for cheaper than this at a restaurant, as if like that couldn't happen to some fucking rich asshole who just buys a bunch of fucking booze. Good to see you, Tyler. Sorry, I'm just ranting about Canada. How you doing, brother?
All right. I thought Grid was streaming tonight. I'm all set up to go, and it looks like he doesn't have anything going right now. So, pop it on over, see what's up.
Oh, good. We're watching the Nick Fuentes, Steven Crowder video. I don't know if you've seen it yet. What do you think about either of these people, Tyler? Fuentes and Crowder?
Crowder is not funny at all, but he's a little smarter than people give him credit for on politics. He, carved out his own thing that's respectable, and Nick Fuentes is a fucking retard that they should keep kicking out of the right wing as much as possible because he's a little leftist retard. Woke right.
Oh, the woke right. The woke right allegations. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, just to finish my thing, as bad as Canada or as bad as America is getting, or well, depends. It's getting better, but it will never compare to the horrors of Canada. Okay, so you can all be happy that you are not currently residing in Canada. And there she is. It's Marilyn. Good to see you, Marilyn. Always good to see you, Marilyn. You should panel up. You feel like, I feel like you want to say stuff about Fuentes. You might, maybe you don't even know who he is, but I feel like you would want to say stuff about him, So we're going to keep going. Feel free to panel up, Marilyn.
Here's the ultimatum. You can come out and say you're against the H-1Bs and the F-1 and green cards, then you could say you're not going to bring us to war in Iran, and we'll
Quebec
vote
is a
for you.
lost cause, Mr. Minister. Quebec is a lost fucking cause.
The idea. It was like
we should let them fucking secede.
With the Trump team. Now, ultimately, Trump became basically, his advantage grew to be so big that he wasn't worried about losing in one of those states. And I felt that way. I said, we don't have leverage anymore because he's leading by so much. It's clear he's going to win. And that's why we sort of abandoned it in the middle of it. But aside from, so that's where that came from.
Just to clarify, abandoned what?
Abandoned that project, the Groiper War II. Because we were going to go to Michigan and we were literally going to knock on doors and hand out leaflets and stuff. And we said, you know what, let's just not anymore because he's going to win anyway. So we bought one billboard.
You were going to knock on the doors and tell people to vote for Trump, the Groipers in Michigan?
Yeah, no, to
the
opposite.
Sign on
to something like a pledge that would say, we will not vote for Trump unless. That was kind of the idea.
Was stupid.
We sort of
politically brain dead. That is
when it became clear that
that is politically brain dead.
And I understand that, by the way. I
if you have the political capital, that's how you do it. It's just that this guy only has about 3 to 5% of right-wing voters, the ones that are terminally online.
A lot of people just don't run in primaries, and that's a viable option.
Yeah.
But
although I guess he did get get that invite to the White House? I mean, he
Well,
has.
Kanye did.
Yeah.
I thought it was
he just
dinner.
brought Prentice with him.
It was
It was
dinner.
just
Marilyn
plus one.
in the
Yeah.
chat. Marilyn, so glad you joined the panel.
Yeah, I've been actually wanting to get Average Debater's channel forever. Every time I see I see you all the time, and I'm like, what is his freaking channel? I don't like know if I see you in chat or not, but like, you need to give me that link, bro.
Yeah, Tyler, if you want to put it in a private chat, I can post it.
Okay.
Because I think if you post the link in the chat, I think YouTube eats it.
I have before, so that's
Yeah,
why
that'd be
it's happening.
cool.
But yeah, Tyler's also muted, so I don't know if he knows he's muted. But
I have
Okay.
before. I just, I didn't know YouTube ate it on me. That's why.
yeah,
Okay.
it's because mod has to. So average debate enjoyer.
Noise.
But yeah, I'll
Okay, and
post
yes,
it.
I know about Nick Fuentes. I know about Crowder. They're just talking heads. They're literally feds, all of them, every last one of them, and they should all burn in hell forever. No, I'm just kidding. But
In Minecraft,
in
burn in the
Minecraft.
nether forever.
Right, exactly. Not in real life. Not in real life.
Man, that's a lot of animosity.
I'm just saying, it makes sense.
I mean, you also called, if I remember the name, Fedru for Fedru Wilson.
Y'all are stop. Don't put that out there. No, yeah. Don't.
Testicular Johnson. Good to
Listen,
see you.
I am not for the panelverse. I like Rob. I don't hate Rob, but there's a lot of dudes that are up Rob's butt. That doesn't make
Wait,
Rob.
aren't you? Isn't that the opposite? I thought now I could be wrong. I thought the panelverse was everyone else, and then Rob and them were like the Crucible, and I thought the panelverse was like everyone who's not a part of that.
No, the panelverse is every single one of you. So all of you, every one of you.
I'm in the extended panelverse, maybe.
Right,
You know, panelverse adjacent, possibly.
Exactly, every single one of you.
Panelverse coded.
I'm a bit panelverse coded, yeah.
Because there is an opposition that cannot stand this stuff at all. Like, cannot stand it at all. None of it. But there's that.
So you hate both of these people on the screen right now, Marilyn. That's fair. That's a fair point of view.
They're feds. They're feds.
Do you
And that
hate them
FBI
because they are
budget just
feds?
keeps going up, you know?
Do you hate them because they are feds?
I don't hate them.
Or
I
are they
just-
feds because you hate them, Marilyn? That's what I would like to propose to you.
Dang, burn. That is not because they give off like just a negative charge when everything is supposed to be a positive charge, not a negative charge, and they just create animosity.
Wait, so when you say fed, do you mean literal fed, or do you just mean like a bad person?
A spiritual fed.
Yeah, do you mean a spiritual
No,
fed, like a fed from
absolutely not.
Satan, you know?
Absolutely not. Well, maybe a little. Yeah, exactly that too. But they're federal agents. Absolutely federal agents.
Okay, am I a federal agent, Marilyn? Have you sussed that out yet?
Oh, I saw that.
That's why I always have my aviators on, you know, just to hide my eyes.
Oh my gosh, you wore your glasses the other day. Stop it.
Just wait till I put on the Oakleys, then you'll know I'm a real fed, because fucking only cops wear fucking Oakleys. So when I do the switch, you'll know I've been picked up by the FBI. You know,
You're so silly. Oakleys are the best.
they're the best for cops. I agree. They're the best glasses for law enforcement in the business.
Funny. You're so funny.
I do remember what caught me off guard, you saying that Kamala Harris was a better choice. And I remember part of what you said was because Trump, if he's elected, legitimizes the system. And that would be worse. You didn't want Trump to be elected because
Nick is losing some cred for me, Big Soda. I'm not gonna lie with this.
I
In the
hate
past
it.
5
this-
minutes, it's rapidly gone downhill.
It's probably downhill from here, to be honest with you.
Well, and here's the thing. I think that Trump is obviously the better president if you're just taking like all the nominal figures, like fewer illegal immigrants, he secured the border, the economy's going to be better, the government's going to be more efficient. Like, so, I mean, we're in agreement on that. Here's the problem. And I try to make people think about it in these terms. It's
Sure.
and I don't want this to sound like a cop out, but I'm trying to get people to think, which is that
You said the word cop.
Trump gets elected, and let's think about what
Freudian
happens
slip
on
there.
number 2. Whereas
I just-
in 2020,
I'll wait for
everybody
you to get
said
done,
the
though.
election is rigged. Like 86% of Republicans said, "Oh, the election was BS." Now,
It was close to half
There's
of
none of that.
Democrats too, I think.
yeah, it was substantial. It was across the board. Now nobody believes that. And whereas at one time people believed like, oh, like the system really needs to be overthrown. Like we really need radical change. Now they're saying, oh, Trump won. Oh, I feel relieved. Now we're okay.
Depends on these poll questions. And Tyler, I feel like you would know more than me about this, but like it's hard to know what percent of Americans think it was actually rigged in the way that Trump said it was rigged. Because I think if you asked me on a poll, I'd be like, it was rigged. But I'm thinking of like the Hunter Biden laptop story and like the censoring of big tech. I don't actually know if like Dominion voting machines were like actually like uncounting the votes.
You didn't watch 2,000 Mules? You didn't watch 2,000 Mules?
I did. I didn't find it compelling. I mean, it's compelling when you watch it. But when you fact check it, I didn't find it as compelling as I thought I would.
Right, right. I
So-
get that. I get that.
All right, Steven Crowder did a fantastic job here saying you didn't vote for Trump, and during the election, while it was coming down to the vote, you told your followers online, don't vote for Trump, Kamala Harris is a better candidate. Now Nick's on here saying, no, actually Trump was better, and we were just trying to pressure him more in our direction, and we were totally going to go out there and do some, like, astroturfing. We just never got around to it, sorry. We were totally pro-Trump, trust me. Ignore what I said, ignore what I told my followers, and ignore how I voted. He's just a snake trying to get out of the trap that Steven's obviously caught him in.
Yeah, and I kind of agree, and I hope Steven presses him on this, and he already is pressing him on it, but I want to see him pressed a little more, because that is I didn't know he said the stuff. I knew he wasn't pro-Trump, and I knew that he didn't vote for Trump, but I didn't know he said that Kamala would be a better pick. I mean, I think that's just like.
I think he said it. I don't think he just said it once. I think he said it on multiple occasions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see that to me is that's inexcusable. This guy needs to go back. Okay, I don't know where he's from, but originally, but
Mexico, get him out of here.
Yeah, that's. I mean, his name is enough for me to be like gone. You know what I mean? Gone. If we're remigrating anybody, it has to be someone like this who lied about, who's trying to lie about who they were really supporting and making some 500 IQ excuse for it. I don't like that. I disavow that.
If a Somali baddie gets denaturalized because she married her brother, then this Mexican's got to go for making shit up. And
exactly. Him and Yohan Omar, they can go together. They can go together. Then flip a coin, Somalia, Mexico. I mean, heads, tails. They can start a new life together.
Hey, I'm fine with that answer.
Hey, and look at the things that Trump has done. And we're going to get in, I can tell we're going to get into some of these things. The Epstein files, bombing Iran. And I'm not gish galloping, I'm just giving a little list of things I don't like. The H-1B visas, the 600,000 Chinese students.
Yeah.
All these things happen. And because they're happening under Trump.
Yeah, I don't like any of those things except the bombing of Iran because, I am a neocon. So, bomb the shit out of those people. I mean, not like the good people, but the nuclear facilities, bomb the shit. The Houthis, fucking drop those bombs, okay? I don't know if that's controversial to say. America is the world police. That is my stance, okay? That's the Bush administration, okay? Look, there were some mistakes made. Okay? But Bush knew where it was at, He knew what it was like,
Church.
And now the problem is we're going to be too isolationist, and then all these other countries. We have the BRICS nations fucking building together. It's like it's all good to be, and I am America first as well. But to be America first, sometimes that means you have to go blow some people up on the other side of the world, okay?
We should not have left Afghanistan. I'll say it.
We should have what?
We should not have left Afghanistan.
Yeah, I mean, at least not in the way that we did, okay?
Nope.
Maybe there's some off-ramp.
We're already halfway
now it's
done. All we had to do was go one more generation and we would have worked the radicalism out of their population.
Yeah.
They would have had educated women in government instead of being sold so their families could eat and things like that. We were one generation away. All the hard part was done. We didn't have a troop die for like 2 years prior to the pullout. It was done. All we had to do was chill for 20 more years. It was like, It's just
Right.
wild. We just
But then I
seized
guess,
victory from- or-
I guess both sides are to blame because what Trump was the one who set the thing, and then Biden was the one who bungled it horrifically, and so I guess both sides kind of suck on that one.
Well, Trump's a unilateralist, and neocons are nation builders, so it is what it is. They just had different policy, and then Democrats are more, your culture is just as good as ours, so all we're going to do is remove the bad guys and let you guys handle it on your own, and that never works.
No, I don't. Testicular Johnson, testicular. That's what I'm going to call you. Okay, I'm sorry. Testicular Johnson says, have you read the national security strategy released by the White House today? No, definitely not. Not if it was released today. I haven't looked at anything today, so.
Makes me wonder if it's Venezuela related.
Yeah, maybe. Because like I don't know. Like I think I don't know. I've always been like pro nation building. I don't know if that's just because I grew up liking George Bush and stuff, but like I've always been pro that. And I think to what Tyler's saying, I think maybe the common ground is a half send is the worst thing you can probably do. Probably be better if we didn't get involved in Afghanistan at all, or if we did see it through till the end. Because you do this half thing, you just end up pissing off these nations, and then when you pull out, then those nations fucking hate you. It's like, it's just like the Gaza situation. It's like there has to be some way to like, I don't want to use the word re-education because that sounds like not great, but there has to be a way to like, if everything just ends, we have radicalized like, so many people that are going to be like doing like terrorist attacks and going to be trying to do everything they can to like destroy Israel, destroy the West. It's like, we don't want that. There has to be like whatever we did. And I don't know enough about history to fully know, but it worked with the Germans, right? It worked with the Japanese, whatever we did after World War II, though, because now Germany, especially Germany, is like, no one's worried about Germany. And Japan, I mean, Japan's a little sussy sometimes because I think they've kind of tricked us with their kawaii and Hello Kitty into, thinking that they're like super like, oh, woo, we'd never do anything. Like, forget about all the, terrible things we did to your prisoners of war and stuff and all the weird experiments we did. But still allies. Still, I like Japan. Okay, I like Japan. And, Germany seems pretty goated, so it's like, what did we do in those countries? And actually, does anybody know what was the effective strategy to turn people who used to be mega radical, like especially Japan? Japan was willing to freaking kill themselves, right? Like the divine wind, right? The kamikaze. It's like they're willing to fucking fight till the end, die, blow themselves up, right? And it's like, so what did we do in those nations post World War II to make it so that, now in a couple generations later, now it's like, they're totally cool. And it's like, it's rare to meet a German person who's like, you know what? Fuck you for what you did to my country. Like that, there's probably a few, but like the AFD, maybe, but like not many, and probably only like certain people in AFD. Does anyone have an answer to that question?
I mean, I got answer to the Japan question. I mean, if you nuke the fuck out of them, they seem to change after that.
Yeah, but the nukes were I don't want to say they weren't a big deal, but they were a small amount of people compared to Japan's whole population.
Yeah, I'm just saying it scared the shit out of them enough to change.
But Israel has killed a larger percentage of Gaza than the U.S. killed a percentage of Japan. You know what I mean? So it's like, if anyone would be afraid, it would be Gaza because they've lost like a much bigger percent of their overpopulation. But is like Gaza going to moderate if we do some type of arrangement and fix things? Yeah, are they going to all of a sudden magically be moderate? It's like, I don't know if it has to be installation of like schools. Like, again, I don't know what happened with these countries. I don't know if did we have a presence? I know Germany was divided, and so there probably was education that went on. With Japan, I don't know. Like, did we just kind of like put like some sanctions on them and like make sure they don't do anything and stuff? Or did we actually
did they have a revolution shortly after though? Japan? Was there like a revolution after World War II?
I know the emperor was allowed to live because that was part of, I think I'm just going off the dome here, so I could be like totally wrong, but I think the emperor at the time was allowed to live out his whole life, and that was part of the agreement of peace. And then he was, I think, the last actual like emperor, and then but I don't know. Yeah, he was allowed to remain emperor. Yeah, says Testicular Johnson. And Mr. says they unalive Shinjo. Couldn't be honest. Don't know who that is. He sounds very German. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I'm not sure who Shinjo is in Japan. But yeah, the guy was allowed to remain emperor, and then at some point, I don't know, somehow Japan magically becomes a democracy. I need to know more history, is what I'm realizing as I'm talking in real time. But
yeah,
because I think we need to use those models for, I don't know. I mean, obviously the Middle East has, they're a bit like Muslim coded, let's say. So could be a different situation, and maybe the process would have to be different. But like, the Japan was obviously a very like radicalized nation as well, and somehow they've come around ostensibly, and now they just fight us through like anime and like degenerate hentai and stuff, and at least I mean, maybe that's worse, but at least it's at least they're not attacking our harbors,
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they're not invading mainland China and stuff like that. Because okay, brief sidetrack and back to the video. I recently learned that people from where I live, went and fought in Hong Kong specifically. Like there was only like a couple of groups of Canadians, and they went and fought in Hong Kong when Japan was like egressing into China during World War II, and Hong Kong fell almost immediately. It was like a 14-day battle, and then they captured a bunch of our vets and like tortured them in horrific ways. But it's like, yeah, China, like Japan, they were coming in, they were doing a lot of nonsense in World War II. They were doing some crazy shit. And now it's like, yeah, everything's calmed down. So it's like, whatever worked then, at least we should try it in these like,
I mean, maybe it's the anime.
Countries.
Maybe the anime is like.
Maybe we have to drop. Maybe we have to like drop anime onto like the Taliban. We already talked about on one stream that Osama bin Laden. He was playing Yoshi's Island on the Nintendo DS. It was found in his compound. Okay. And I think if he played enough Nintendo proprietary things, like maybe if you gave him Mario Party 6, maybe that would have changed him. I think he was moving in that direction of like, I want to just stream. I want to just be a gamer. Just let me chill in my cave and play my Yoshi's Island DS and everything will be fine.
I started out super left-wing, anti-racist, anti-xenophobia. I was this way until maybe like 2025. And the more I play internet video, I've like played football and shit in high school, wrestling, didn't really play video games. When I became an adult, I moved into online gaming. The more I've done that, the more xenophobic and racist I've become, especially against Peruvians and Russians. If you ever get one of them in your fucking Dota games, they spike that shit and ruin the game for you. Everyone hates them, and now I'm a xenophobe. So I'd say video games make me hate people from other countries.
Yeah, maybe the opposite happened. So maybe the fact that he had that Nintendo game is what created the monster.
That's true. We don't know when he bought, all of those things. China does own us. That is low key kind of true. But yeah, we don't know we don't know when he became a gamer. Maybe that's the problem. He also had that what's that game that everyone knows that I can't remember the name of, the Counter-Strike. Was he playing? What side was he playing on? Probably not the counter-terrorists, if you think about it. That's probably where he got his ideas from. He's like, oh, it feels pretty cool to spin my carrot around to be a little terrorist. And the next thing you know, 9/11 happens. So I don't know. There's gonna be some
the counter-terrorists, and he thinks we're the terrorists, and he's like, I'm the hero in this story.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Terrorism is in the eye of the beholder, I guess, if you think about it. Why does my freaking things not work? Okay, there we go.
Responsible for them, and I do think that deflates a lot of the fervor for. You're
radicalizing your children, Mr. Mister. You heard Tyler.
I just think sometimes, is that necessarily better in the long term? I don't disagree that Trump is. There's a very big pragmatic benefit, but in the long term, I worry about that.
Yeah, I definitely think it's better in the long term. And okay. I agree with you completely on 600,000 Chinese students. I don't know if you saw, we did an entire hour on that. H-1Bs. Yeah. I was throttled as a result from, well, I can't say Elon Musk directly, but I believe I perhaps called him a
Thank you, Testicular Johnson.
I insulted him quite publicly. And, for my troubles, made $27 in the course of a month on X. Ashley Sinclair made like 26 grand in 2 weeks. Who knew, right? That's kind of odd. Yeah, I agree with you on H-1Bs. I will tell you, worse than 600,000 Chinese students would be another 15 to 20 million illegals and changing the census rule, which is what we were looking at, where that redistricts the entire map. And there's no chance to any type of conservative, Republican, nationalist, populist being elected again. And I do think that there was a lot of progress made. I would go, I mean, a lot of wins, not only the board. 99% is not marginal to me as far as reduction. I think that's pretty significant. But I'd like to go to, I understand where you're coming from. I understand that perspective, but I also don't understand what the threshold is as far as, okay, burn it all down, or we want to delegitimize the system. Because I know we lived through that, like you just said. Republicans thought it was an illegitimate election. I did as well. Not a whole bunch of folks at the Daily Wire back then, so I think we were on the same page. And I also, obviously, when we had the lockdowns, all of that.
Oh, like these pot shots at the Daily Wire. Okay, Daily Wire didn't think, and Crowder jumped the gun a little bit, you know, and I was part of this.
That's fair.
I was part of this because I watched, actually, I remember this. I was watching Crowder's coverage live during 2020, and I saw him say about all the suspicious stuff, the votes being dumped in and stuff. And at the time, I was like, oh my God, yeah, like what's that box under the table? You guys have seen that famous video, right, where they have the box under the table, and then it seems like that was a bit premature, and it probably didn't contain a bunch of votes that they're sneaking in. Probably, I mean, Mr. I feel probably disagrees with me, but and I think the Daily Wire kind of did normal stuff, but they always said rigged in the same way I'm saying, which is like the Hunter Biden laptop story, the big tech stuff. I mean, that's rigging in a more quasi-legal way. It's like, yeah, I don't think there were like necessarily like voting machine issues and stuff like that, or at least not enough to like change the outcome. So but it's like, yeah, I think the Daily Wire wasn't
of a guy that drove a van full of ballots to New York, and he went and gave a press conference and said that in a sworn statement, said he looked in the back of the van that he was hired to drive, and there were a bunch of ballots back there from New York that they were using to rig Pennsylvania, and it got investigated, and turned out the whole thing was fake. It was just him guessing. He just made it up.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. There's a lot of stuff that I think a lot of conservatives jumped on at the beginning, you know, and I think it's like, and it's fine to point out suspicious things, but it's like, yeah, it's like you rev a bunch of people up for something that, you know, isn't necessarily, super accurate. And I mean, similar in some ways to like, and I will defend this a bit, but remember during the Biden, or sorry, not Biden, Kamala and Trump debate, where they were talking about like that the Haitians were like eating the cats and dogs and stuff, and it's like, there might have been a few cats and dogs eaten. Okay, I'm not sure. I've seen conflicting things, but it seems like most of that seems to have been like Facebook hearsay, and someone being like, I saw this, and someone, and like maybe there was like one case or two cases, but it's like a lot of like there's a temptation, and even for me, there's that temptation to jump on these things and be like, oh my God, they're eating the cats and dogs. we've gone too far, and it's like, I don't know. You know, it's like we jump on these things as conservatives, and the left does it too. I mean, I think the left in some ways does it a lot more, but yeah, it's like there's always that thing, and these things always like stick around. These, I think, conspiracies, they always stick around, you know. Yeah. And that's the problem with like, and even Trump has said he believes some of the stuff that it's like, well, I know that's like not necessarily exactly what happened, you know, and it's like Trump will still kind of like cling to stuff, you know. And there's better things to cling to, I think. Like, what was that city? It was the same city where that movie theater shooting happened. Aurora, Colorado. Yeah, where it's like the what was that gang? The Trendragua or something. I don't know how to say it.
Trendragua, they were taking over fucking.
Yeah, and that was a legit thing that I think should have been focused on a lot more, because that was like, from my understanding of researching that was like an actual thing that was happening, as opposed to the Haitians. Maybe one Haitian crazy guy ate like one cat or something, like maybe, but like the Trendragua, or if I still don't know how to say it exactly, whatever that fucking gang was, yeah, they were like actually Aurora, Colorado. I mean, the police chief had said stuff about it. Like there was videos of people with guns and walking around apartment buildings and the goddamn continental United States. It's like those are like actual like big issues in my opinion that like should have been, you know. And Trump did mention them, but I think there's certain issues that like dig your fucking heels in. These are like massive issues, and there's certain things where it's like, don't give the left that foothold to be like, well, show me how many cats were eaten, how many dogs were eaten. It sounds great to say on stage. It's very like anti-immigrant type take and stuff, and you can make it sound super bad. But then it's like if the left can so easily kind of be like, okay, what's the source? You know, is it a few just anecdotal testimonies from some like people living in that one spot, and then like, you know, like a few Facebook posts? It's like, that's not enough. It's not enough to say that on a national debate stage. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm derailing myself. I'm like one guying myself right now. You know,
I mean, you're
in
not
a pure onanistic fashion.
you're not wrong.
You're good.
Man, we have a little side. We have a side battle in the comments between Mr. and Testicular Johnson about, you know, look at that. I mean, I'm just gonna run through these messages. Bam, you can all read this. Then Testicular Johnson fires back. Never been corroborated. Testicular Johnson, he said it. Sure, Mr. They just ignored him. It doesn't make it not true. Also, they had court rulings in Georgia about other things. I agree. It doesn't mean it's not true, but it was never corroborated. It's just his word. Crazy. 2 fights, 1 stream. I mean, y'all are getting your money's worth, right?
It's all psyops.
It's all psyops. They're all feds, Marilyn.
They're all feds. It's all psyops. They want their power and control. You heard it, Crowder. What is the threshold? Bro, you are scared of losing the whole bid. You're scared of losing everything. You need a threshold. You need it to stop and stop where it's at so you can keep the power you've got. It's just a ball of power game. I
don't know. My pushback would be that I think in some ways, look at CNN, right, and look how much they fucking lost network ratings and whatever the fuck, like audience, you know, stuff when Trump goes out of the limelight. And in the same way with Crowder, from Crowder's point of view, he probably has more to talk about if Kamala won in some ways. Like, wouldn't Crowder become in some ways more powerful? Because like then you have like stuff to complain about all the time. Whereas like Crowder, especially because he's pledged so much allegiance to Trump, it's like, but then that's what I'm saying. Then so wouldn't Crowder be incentivized to do the opposite of what he did? Fuentes is a little more Fed coded because he wanted Kamala to win, which I think would definitely benefit Fuentes because then he could sit there and complain about all the terrible things Kamala is doing and stuff. So I think he actually has. No, I'm not saying he is a Fed, you know. I mean, but you know, he has more motivation.
If Trump wins, he also has more things he can bitch about with Trump. So I guess you could. It could be financially beneficial if either party wins, because he either gets to bitch about the Democrats or he gets to bitch about Trump.
But does Crowder bitch a lot about Trump?
No, I thought we were talking about Nick.
Oh, Nick, yeah, you know, that's what I mean. But yeah, Nick, but Crowder, I think if I was Crowder and I was like purely a grifter, then it's like, I think it'd be better. It'd be a happier world for my pocketbooks if Kamala won.
Yep. With Nick, either one.
Nick could go either way because he was already complaining about Trump. So really, whoever wins, he can just complain about them more.
Exactly.
And shout out to Mr. They're definite grifters like Candace. You know, I'm trying to give Candace the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, man. She's losing. She's losing the plot.
Kanye syndrome.
If these people,
Tyler's
didn't have anything to bitch about, if they didn't have anything to get mad about and say there was an issue about, they would not have the money they have. They would not have the attention they have, but mainly the money. Like, just like the pharmaceutical companies, they keep you sick so they don't cure the problem. They're just pacifying it so they can make more money. So it's really just a problem they're all creating by going back and forth with this micromanaging. It's like everyone needs to shut up if you're not going to be a part of the solution.
Counterpoint, though, if I didn't have crazy videos like Fuentes versus Crowder or like Destiny and Lila Rose fighting about abortion, what would I be making content about? I mean, I need my content, you know. What else? What would I? Well, so you know,
karaoke, Confluence karaoke.
Yeah, I would just become like a constant Emmett Saturday Night all the time, you know.
Yeah, you could host like a game show. You could get your panelists up here and like have people do votes and shit, or maybe use it with the audience. It's you and a host, and there you go. You got some content there.
You could tell everybody, like, you do like science videos, that everything is like magnets and everything.
I'm writing this down. Okay. Everything is magnets. Okay.
Everything is magnets.
Everything is magnets. Video idea. Okay. Everything is magnets. That's I'll title the next stream. Everything is magnets.
And I'll
even work.
I'll help you out.
You can explain. You're like, whoa, oh, what did Desiree Noel? She had a similar. She was obsessed with funguses, the fungus among us. She's like everything comes down to fungus on whatever podcast. And just went on this rant for like an hour about how mushrooms control everything. Everything in life goes down to mushrooms, which I guess, you know, mushrooms and magnets. Those are the two kind of polar opposites of the universe, I guess, you know.
Getting paid by big
magnets.
Well, not really. They're not really true opposites, because if you think about it, if you cut a mushroom in half, it's going to be a piece of a mushroom, a piece of that mushroom. Like, you know,
What if you cut a magnet in half, Marilyn? You ever think of that?
yeah, you have another magnet. It doesn't
Well,
change form.
okay, so very similar
It's
to
not
the
a piece of
mushrooms, if you
something.
think
But
about
no,
it.
it's not a piece of something though. Like,
Have you ever heard of mereological nihilism?
you don't
Marilyn?
understand.
Okay, that's the belief. No, I think I do. Mereological nihilism is belief that things are not things; they're just made of smaller parts. So that there is not a chair or there's no
But there's
microphone
not
here. It's just
things
It's just an arbitrary
No.
definition we give it. But you
No.
can break it down
No.
to infinite
No.
things.
People will think we came from parts, but we didn't come from parts. We came from holes. The hole can only
I
exist.
did personally exit a hole. That is how I was brought into the world.
You don't-
I agree with you.
Listen, everything is mattered. Everything is mattered. Everything that exists has to have a carrier. It has to come from something. It has to have a carrier. Magnets, you don't cut a mushroom in half and it becomes two whole mushrooms. It's a half of a mushroom and a half of a mushroom. I'm not talking about when it fertilizes or whatever, and you can plant this mushroom and this mushroom, and it'll make more mushrooms. No, I'm talking about if you cut a magnet in half and if you cut a mushroom in half, you're going to have two halves of a mushroom, but the magnets are still the same natural particle.
I think I'm following. I'm not 100% sure.
You don't cut a mushroom in half and it's two whole mushrooms. Like magically, it's all the way another mushroom again. No, it's half
But if you
of a
cut
mushroom.
if you cut a magnet in half, then don't you have two magnets? Isn't that the same as the mushrooms?
But it doesn't change. It's not like you can still cut that in half and it'll have a positive and negative charge and come right together. Like there will be a force that drives it right together if you cut that magnet again in half. Like it still has its positive and negative charge, just like the other magnet that you broke off. It still has that negative and positive charge. Like the carrier is there. It is a whole particle. Does that make sense?
I'm not 100% sure, but what this
I'm
does
having
make
a
me
little trouble.
what this does make me think is that I need to get you and Desiree on, which we
Because
already
you don't.
agreed to. But now the topic needs to be, at least part of it has to be about
Do I
mushrooms
have
and
to
magnets.
demonstrate by getting a mushroom and cutting it in half and showing you that there's a flat side to this mushroom?
Hold
And
on.
Yeah, but
it
if
is
I
not
had a
a
little
whole
magnet and
mushroom.
I cut it in half, I could show you too and be like, look, two magnets. I don't know if the visual thing was going to help much.
I have a
But-
quick
Oh my
clarification question from Marilyn. How many bags of healing crystals do you currently own?
I don't. I packed away. I tried to find my biggest one the other day for Confluence, and I can't find it. I'm gonna find it. I know where it's at now.
I
But
do.
Next show. Next show.
I've shown my crystals on stream before. I do
Yes.
have some crystals.
Yeah.
Not the type that Tyler said. I'm at least out of the loop enough that I don't even know what a helion crystal is or whatever the fuck he said.
A
So.
healing crystal. You put them.
Oh,
against you. Yeah,
healing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
If you boof them, they heal you faster.
Oh, well, hey, do you want to see my favorite boofing crystal, brother? Oh, yeah. Perfect shape. You stick this where the sun don't shine. Your root chakra, Tyler, you wouldn't believe how healed my root chakra can be, okay? You wouldn't believe it. You don't want to insert at point end. That's the mistake. You don't want to make that mistake. You can cause some damage. You want to go with the smooth end, okay?
Mufasa told me never go to that dark space, so.
But no, I would never misuse my crystals that way, okay? I would never.
Confluence, I put this video in the back chat, or the link in the back chat. You ever seen the video of the Tropic Thunder behind the scenes where Robert Downey Jr. is drawing on the back of the guy explaining like what he believes?
No.
It's a 2-minute, yeah, it's like a short video. Every time Marilyn talks, I think of this.
in a good way, because
In a great way.
will not tolerate any Maryland hate in my panel.
In a beautiful way.
Okay, good.
Oh, Lord.
Maryland slander will be
You guys all
slight
focused
down.
up, 'cause this is key. Let me get rolling on
Why
you.
do so many people
we know what's
care
happening.
about me?
Here we go, baby.
Isn't that the first time, Maryland?
Get your head out of there now.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
See, being the first son, right, that puts him right here in the lower chakra. Now that's shooting energy up into Daniel verse 6. And this, of course, here is a dream catcher. So all his dreams are being caught and he can't move on. And that's going back and forth like that, like a spider web, which is, of course, connecting to the eye of Horus, which is 70,
You're so wrong for this.
which also
so
goes
wrong
up.
for this.
That was the first time you ever swung a baseball bat. Now,
You
what we
know,
got here
managers
is
at
the baseball
fucking NASA
ain't
believe
hitting the bat
that
because
everything's
the
made of
seams are
magnets.
17.
After observing several of these exorcisms, I still could not trace the genealogy of any of the scripture he incessantly quoted. There seemed to be absolutely no method to his madness.
But I remember when I built the pyramids, right? It was tough. It was tough as a motherfucker.
You built the pyramid?
Yeah, because we was hauling all the stuff up like that, but we did it all with sound, right? We did it with sound, and then we had a blanket. We had sound and we had a blanket, and it came down like that. You know? That's what I was tripping on. See, we working on his brow chakra.
Can we-
When it's in back of the crown chakra. And that's why he's been tripped up and he's laid on his car payments and all that stuff.
What does this mean for us?
It means you'll be psychically attacked. You're son number 3. They're coming at you from all angles. They're coming at you from the Sirius, right? They're coming at you from the Orion, okay? Which also connects to Dan, right? Dan's best friend, man's best friend. That's dog. That's the dog star. That's Sirius. That's some serious shit, man.
Oh, that's true. Sirius
Now
is
your
the
mother,
star.
she's just a hoe.
My mother's no hole.
No. I mean the hoe, as in that which pushes the plow through the fields across the star system, coming
I'm
back
fighting
around
for
with a
my
meteor
life.
shower,
Stop
which is why there's
it.
all them dots up here on the back of his
We're
neck.
almost done. Don't worry, Maryland. We're
I
almost
like
done.
beneath.
Why is he being baptized?
Huh? Hold on, don't move. We cool. What? I just want to keep him in check in case any evil spirits come in while I'm trying to commute with my son. Hold on now. Don't make me take the clip out. Hold on, baby. We cool. Huh?
Hey, just let him play.
All right, let's go play catch. You've been healed.
That was pretty amazing.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
So that's not the first time you've been showing this, Maryland, is what you're saying.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. More times than that, actually. More times than even that.
Look, Maryland, I'm chakra coded, so you know, I'm on your team. Okay.
Okay.
I am. I think we have chakras. I think we have an energy system in our body. I don't think that's crazy.
I thought you said chakra. Chakra. You did say chakra. Never mind. Just never.
Wait. What'd you think I said? I'm
Shakira.
curious.
He thought you
Shocker.
were Shakira-coded.
Shocker.
Oh
Maybe I
yeah.
thought
Well,
you
my
said
hips don't lie. I will tell you that, Maryland. My hips don't lie.
Do you ever clear your chakras? I've got a really good 7-minute video to clear your chakras, and you totally feel it.
Well,
You just gotta lay in a bathtub.
As long as it doesn't involve someone
No,
drawing on
it's
my back with
no,
a gun to my head.
No, it's a
Nasal
video.
rinse.
No,
neti
it's a
pot
video.
and a
You
nasal
go,
rinse.
you go through the chakras. We should all do it together. I should put it in the back chat, and it's so good. We'll all do it
Chakra
together.
stream.
It's like no, it's 7 minutes, and you just like it goes. You go from your lower chakra, and you like watch the video, and you like you do it with them, like like solar chakra, like they go up the chakras, and they're like soft sound ooh, and then you go ooh, and you do it as long as you can, and then you do it again, and then they do and then they go like all the sounds, and then like the last one is your crown chakra, and you go and like I'm telling you, if you
I
do
think some of
the
my
whole thing,
chakras are clearing just from you doing this brief demonstration, Maryland. So
it's really good. It's really good.
now, Maryland, okay, just to not to like shit test you or anything, but just to make sure you're like a sincere person on this, can you briefly name all 7 chakras? Okay.
Oh
Without
Lord.
Googling, and I will
Solar
fact check you without
plexus.
Googling too.
What
No,
is
in
it?
order.
Hey,
From
I don't know them in order. I'm
Rock
not.
Lee
I'm,
can open those things upside. Will, I know those motherfuckers. We got.
you got your throat chakra, your crown chakra, your
Okay, fine. Not in order, but fine.
heart chakra,
Okay.
your solar plexus,
Mm-hmm.
your.
Missing
I'm missing one.
3.
3? No
Yeah.
way.
You
got
said
the gate of
throat,
life.
brow, solar plexus,
Heart chakra.
heart. So you're missing 3.
Gate of
Heart
pain,
chakra.
open!
Oh my god.
Come on, Marilyn. Anyone
How is
else?
it
Do you want to call a friend? Tyler
Crown
Big Soda?
chakra. Crown chakra.
Yeah, you said that one already though.
Your heart chakra.
Yeah, you said that one
Your
too.
solar
Yeah.
plexus.
Uh-huh. Your throat, you said that one. Yeah,
Throat
there's 3
chakra.
more.
Bro,
digestive
I'm
chakra.
drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank.
Anyone? Any guesses?
The ass chakra.
Yeah, which one's that, Marilyn? What's the ass chakra?
I don't remember.
I think you already said it in this conversation,
Solar
weirdly enough.
plexus?
No, I think earlier, I think you said
Yeah.
it. When you were talking about the chakra 7-minute video. Where does it start? Where does that video start? What chakra? The lowest
Don't
one.
do this to me. Don't do
By
this
your,
to me. I
it's by
can't
your butthole,
remember.
Marilyn. Just feel it. Feel it right now. Not in a weird way, but like in a normal way.
Get 2 fingers in there.
Get out the wand.
Oh my god, you guys.
Okay, it starts with an R. The root chakra, the root chakra, the retard chakra, and then
Well,
what's
I don't have
what's
that.
the
I'm
one
very
that's
bad
like
at
at, I'm pointing at my dick right now? What's that chakra? Like not the act, but like in that area. What's that called?
Your root chakra, your soul.
Starts with an S. Starts with an S.
Your semen
No, I
chakra.
already said solar plexus.
No. Solar plexus, Marilyn. Solar plexus is like, it's like here. I'm talking like down where the sun. Well, the sun shines there, but like not if you have pants on, I guess.
That's what the
The sacral chakra. The sacral chakra.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. And then what's the final one? I'll give you a hint. It's located. You can see it. You can see the last chakra right now if you look at the camera.
The prostate chakra.
You can't see my prostate right now.
I see the live thing in front of half your screen.
It's right here, Marilyn. What's this guy called?
That's about a 5
I already
head.
said crown.
No, the crown is up here, Marilyn. The crown's up here. This guy.
That's an airport right there.
It isn't. It is an airport. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Tyler.
What is the third?
Never going full screen again around you. It's got. Oh, come on, this is the easy one. Actually, Tyler and Big Soda. I think you have definitely heard this. Wait, who said that?
I didn't say it. I know
Someone
it's
said something.
it's your daggum third eye, but I can't remember what chakra it's
Yeah,
called.
it's the third eye. I mean, it has different names, but yeah, it's a third eye.
It's a third eye, but it's not like it's not called that in the chakra chart on the chakra.
Well, I mean, they're all translations of fucking Hindu. So, I mean, like, some places call it third eye. Some people talk about the pineal gland, but,
That's why it's so stinky.
So I was just missing root and sacral.
And third eye. You didn't say, you
That's
said.
not third eye. It's not called. Look up the chakras. Just look them up right now.
Okay, yeah, we're into the weeds now. Okay.
Yeah, we're in the
So the
weeds.
sacral chakra is what they tap into when they shit on the street, right?
Okay. Behold, Marilyn. Behold. Root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and then crown, or whatever you said. I think you said something else, didn't you? But same thing.
Was this like LGBT chakras?
Well, they do. I mean, they do follow the spectrum of light, but don't let the rainbow people. Oh, am I not sharing? Oh, now I'm sharing it.
My
Oh, whoops.
chakra's
Okay.
queer. I have queer chakra.
Oh,
It's got female energies.
So there you go.
Can't believe they
Marilyn.
took the rainbow from us.
Yeah, it's called the Anya, but that's like some, that's some Hindu stuff. We don't fuck with that. We're in America.
You do.
No, we call it the third eye around these parts.
It's that Pajit magic.
I didn't know I was on mute. Whoops. Well, yeah, I got from the solar plexus up because I totally said third eye.
You did not. Did she
I
say
said
third eye?
when we first started. You even said I did third eye, but I didn't think it was a chakra.
Well, I was actually thinking. I thought you said root earlier when you were giving that. We were talking about the 7-minute chakra thing. I thought I heard you say root.
I could have, but that makes sense though, because I'm so close to the crown chakra that the sacral and root, I would probably forget a little bit.
So this tells me you're not grounded enough, Marilyn.
Right.
This tells me you have to buy one of these to really heal your lower chakras.
I got one of those.
To really help you out,
Let's get back to Crowder, shall we?
All right, back to a very relevant divergent into the wonderful world of chakras and where to stick them, or what to stick into them, I guess, to be more
very valuable
precise.
Learning here today.
I've lost. I opened too many tabs. Okay, just hold up a sec. I also have Photoshop and Premiere open, which is really lagging everything. Look, it's a shit show over here. Okay, there we go.
We then lived through 4 years of Biden, right? So it was already seen as not legitimate. We saw the results. I think the results of not electing another Biden is better. But I would like to roll a clip because I think it's in this vein and might help set it up. It was where you discuss, Epstein, too. That's one thing. Of course, I absolutely agree. I don't know if you know, I recreated the Epstein cell down to the millimeter and tried to hang myself with a force meter.
I saw that, yeah.
It's possible, not likely. So I thought it was a huge mistake. I think Pam Bondi's an idiot. And I mean actually like an idiot, like she potentially could be a mongoloid. Using the term hate speech. She's a moron, and I've always said that. Using the term, and that rollout was terrible. That doesn't undo the things that a lot of people who elected not just Trump, but the cultural wins that they want. I think there's a lot of good there, and I don't think burning it down is the best approach. But here you mentioned a new potential coalition, and I think sort of lay out a prescription as to how to go forward, and I'd like to ask you about it. And again, we'll make the link to the full show available so that no one mischaracterizes anything.
Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie working together against the interests to compel the files. What do you think that has, a 90% approval rating? If you had progressive Democrats and nationalist Republicans working together, let's say to compel the release of the Epstein files, what kind of approval rating do you think that has? 90%? And what if they got together and they opposed foreign aid to Israel? What approval rating do you think that would have? 90%? Do you think that that Republicans or independents running under that brand, do you think that would become more popular or less popular over time? 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16. It snowballs. And we need to propel someone into the White House that is just a populist. If the right can come down on healthcare and on a social safety net and maybe on some subsidies for education, and if the left can come down on the anti-white open border stuff and they can agree that we have a country, that party will win 90% of the vote and rule for a century. That's the compromise. That's the populist compromise.
Okay, and I think you were, you articulated that pretty well. I would say Epstein already has a coalition. Everyone voted to release the files except Clay Higgins, who is a punchline, deservedly so. Like, that's the first time everyone knew Clay Higgins. Like, he really must love pedophiles. I wish I loved anything as much as he loves defending sex islands. I would like to hear your prescription for how that works, because I would say this. If the only compromise was the left on immigration, and if I believe that there was any semblance of a reality in which they compromise on immigration, and compromising on free markets to varying degree, okay. But what do we do with the Ro Khanna on the Second Amendment, on the First Amendment, on transing the kids, on reparation that someone like a Ro Khanna or any member of the Democratic Party, but Ro Khanna specifically says is
That's the problem. It's like there's a lot more issues than the ones Fuentes mentioned in that clip, right? Like there's a lot more division points than just those ones, right? So I don't know if those areas of compromise would be enough for me to like, you know,
honestly
agree to that.
Critique of populism is they're usually focused on just a tiny handful of things, and the rest is just like whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're willing to kind of give in to certain principles that you should not give into, and it's like, if you want a huge populace, that means you're gonna have so wide amount of views ranging in so many issues that you're really not gonna get anything done, or you're gonna sacrifice your principles for something temporarily.
But I think there has to be like I'm fine with like a kind of like a boots on the ground understanding of like bipartisan politics, right? That like, yeah, you're gonna have to reach across the aisle. You're not always gonna get your way. But I would say instead of picking like 3 issues and like being like, you have to see my side, I'd rather pick all the issues and then find like some balance between those things. So like I'm very pro-life, but I think I'd be fine with like a nationwide abortion thing that's like 4 weeks. Even though I would prefer, in my perfect world, if I was like king of the United States, I would just like probably ban all abortion. But like I would rather see that than see the situation where it's like, well, some states have it banned, some states you can do it up to like an ungodly amount of time. I'd rather it just be like how it's done in most like European places, where it's like, I think in most Europe places it's like 6 weeks. It's like at least that's like more sensible than some places allowing like second or even in some cases third trimester, right? Like Canada, I've said it before, we have no laws on abortion at all. You can't really find a clinic to do a third trimester abortion unless it's fully needed, but there's no law saying that you can't. And it's like, I think that's kind of the worst of all issues. So I'm willing to, even on, that's an issue I'm very like strong on, like that's a strong position I have, but I would still be willing to compromise to find some level that I think is like a harm reduction point of view. But I want to do that on every issue. So with like trans stuff, it's like, I would be totally fine being like, yeah, once you're 18, fine. You can take HRT, you can do what you want, but anyone under 18, no blockers, no HRT, nothing. And it's like, that might not be my optimal, but I think that's like a fair compromise that gives me most of what I want, or at least enough where it's like, okay, I'm getting shit done. You know, I don't know if, do you agree, disagree?
I mean, I think that's fair.
Sorry, you go, I'll go after.
I was just going to say, I think that's fair. The only problem with some of the people that you're trying to compromise with are saying that you're taking away their human rights by doing so. So there's some times where you can't compromise at all and you have to go full force with an issue.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is the same, he's just like making a political calculus that every politician literally makes on a greater scale for major issues. Like, they have it down to the science of like, they know how to appeal to certain districts within certain states when they're running for president. That's why Kamala Harris on stage mentioned Polish voters in Pennsylvania in a debate with Donald Trump, because she knew if she could swing those Polish voters over, then she might be able to swing the state, because it was such a key, like such a close demographic in there. They have this already mapped out. They know what compromises they're willing to make, and he's basically saying things that are antithetical. The people that want borders open have a compassion-minded based immigration. They're not going to just give that up. Even for fucking Medicare for all or whatever he offered, they're not going to just suddenly be like, well, yeah, we're compassionate, but let's just let the fascists have fascism. Like, it's just not going to work. So he's just kind of like reinventing the wheel without knowing that this is already what they do.
And to be fair, I don't think I would trade the Epstein file for more immigration. Like, if I had to say there's a more hardline issue, I would say I'm going to support immigration over the release of the Epstein files.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you, and I don't necessarily like that I agree. 'Cause I really want those files to be released, but at the same time, if it does cause what we talked about earlier, some type of accelerationism where it's like everyone gets like fucked, and like, okay, Trump gets impeached, let's say, and it's like, is that a better world? Like, I still want the files released, but it's like, if it costs the GOP absolutely everything that they can ever get done for, you know, the next like how many years, and it guarantees they'll lose the midterms, I at least understand. I think it's bad enough that I still want them released, but I agree if it was a thing between, yeah, like closing the borders and fixing the immigration system versus the release. I mean, that's like kind of a Sophie's choice issue in a way. Like, it's really hard to pick. But if I had to, just like from a practical, like human life, normal, like how we're all living point of view, I think the border crossing is probably the more existential threat.
Yeah.
Than prosecuting someone who, I mean, Epstein is dead. Well, you know, at least, you know,
They really
most
don't have
people
any
think so.
excuse. They don't have any excuse for holding all that stuff anyway, making you choose which one. They need to be transparent. I don't know where they feel like they get all the authority for all these thresholds. It's not, it doesn't make any logical sense.
I can explain to you. I don't think they should have released the Epstein files, and I can tell you like why it's bad. Because when you do
Everybody's in it.
Well, when you do investigations, you sometimes get rumors that are unverified that you follow up on, but you write them down in your notes. And when you take all these investigative notes and all the investigation, like all the things they followed, confidential sources, methods, and things like that, you're basically releasing slander on people without giving them the due process of being able to defend their name against their accuser. Like, it's just...
But the problem is how, Tyler, I guess the pushback would be, I think we know Epstein had a client list, right? I mean, at least Pam Bondi said he had a client list, right? And so it's
and then she said they didn't.
No one's been arrested with that. Like, no one in the Epstein stuff besides Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested in connection to Epstein. So it's like there's got to be like Prince Andrew, okay? I mean, we know that motherfucker. We know, like, why isn't he being investigated? Why not? Like, I see what you're saying, that like, yeah, you don't want to implicate people if they were just, let's say, on the island or on a Jeffrey Epstein property, but they didn't actually do anything, then we don't want everyone being like, oh my God, yeah, kill this guy. But like, yeah, why has there been no actual investigations into anyone? You're saying with all the notes they have, there's been like no reason to go after these people?
What you're telling me is like with how anti-partisan both sides are. They went after Trump with everything. They had to make up a new stature in New York that's never been used to go after Trump in New York. They had to illegally appoint a special investigator to go after Trump in Florida. They had to use RICO charges against an election, something that's never been done, in order to go after him in Atlanta. So if they're going to go after him for everything under the sun and make shit up in 3 of the 4 cases, why the fuck wouldn't they go after him for this? Why is the FBI for either side having arrested someone?
Well, I think I'm Maryland coded on this because I think they're all in the files. So I think like for them to go after Trump, I think then they risk like to release that information. It's like you're only releasing partial stuff. Then it's like, what about everyone else that was like implicated?
Every politician is in the files.
I think enough politicians on both sides, not every single one, but let's say it's Clinton and Trump. Well, the Clintons have a lot of sway, and obviously Trump has sway, so it's like neither side. It's like it's kind of like a mutually assured It's like Israel's Samson protocol. You know what I mean? If you're familiar with your Israeli
like Matt Gaetz had access to that shit. And although
Matt Gaetz was like arrested on like sex trafficking of a minor.
No, he wasn't.
They went right after him.
They went completely after him.
Matt Gaetz pulled
and then
he didn't know that was a minor.
It's a what do you call it? God, I can't remember the name. It's one of those crimes. Oh God, there's a name. Oh fuck, I fucked my point. It's a crime where it doesn't matter what your knowledge is. There's a word for this. Anyone know what I'm talking about?
I didn't think they brought any charges other than the fact that
No, they did. They brought charges and they ended up dropping them. But there's a thing.
Just investigation in the.
Gonna have to Google this. Strict liability. Thank you, Testicular Johnson. It's a strict liability crime. It's like if I go out and I shtup someone who's under the age of consent, she could give a fake ID to me. I could meet her at an 18 establishment. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm going to jail. It's a strict liability crime. So he brought a 17-year-old across state lines.
No, he did not. Somebody else did. That's the person that went to jail for it.
Did he pay for it? Did he arrange it?
He arranged it. He had said, bring some girls.
That's illegal.
No, it's not. If you're under the assumption that you're saying bring some girls to the party and they're all supposed to be over age and one of them is lying about the age, the person at fault was the person that let him in. This is why you like the bartender will get fired so they can avoid a lawsuit. The person.
So you're saying Matt Gaetz didn't know the specific person at all?
He pulled the Destiny.
No, he didn't. No, if he pulled a Destiny, then he broke the law. Destiny probably broke the law, right?
I don't think Destiny's been charged with the crime.
I know, but whether or not he has been charged, he did break the law, right? From what he said. Like, because Rose, in the case, Rose was under 18. She had sent him images. Whether or not they can prove that, or whether they have the prosecutorial reasoning to.
Proven in court that it wasn't Rose. She never had a conversation with Destiny. It was her ex-boyfriend using pictures of her underage. To
No, that's not true. That's not true at all.
I just read the court documents.
You
Came out 2
guys-
days ago.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I do gotta go jump off, but I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Come
All right.
close, I'll be back on. Okay.
Good.
Okay. Thanks for having me. For
Take
sure.
care,
This is
Marilyn.
fun.
God bless.
God bless. I'll see you at your channel too. Thank you. This was fun.
Okay, so what are you saying? What are you saying? Because even Destiny said that he was talking to Rose.
Yeah,
Like, Destiny never denied that.
Then he hired a private investigator, figured out more information. Rose was depositioned and she had to subpoena. She said she never had a conversation with him. Rose said that it was her ex-boyfriend using her persona and her pictures to honeypot Destiny.
Like, the whole time? Like, it was that solo guy the whole time?
So regardless of if it's her ex, if it's the police, if it's Chris fucking Hansen, if it's YouTubers like Trilogy Media trying to do pedo hunting, regardless, he was still trying to have sex with a 17-year-old unknowingly. But it was somebody honeypotting.
Yeah, I get. Okay, that's fair. I guess I haven't heard this part. I thought my understanding, because I made a couple videos on this, but this was a while ago when all this stuff was happening. I thought that, yeah, he was talking to Rose, and then Solo, the ex-boyfriend, hacked Rose's account, or gained access or had access, and then did all the leaks. But you're saying that it was this Solo guy the entire time. But then it's still like you're still. I don't know. Isn't that still a strict liability crime anyway? Because he was still then receiving images of someone who was underage and saving them. Does that require, like, isn't that just, like, if I download some images and they end up being someone under 18, then I have CSAM on my computer. Isn't that, like, that's a strict liability thing too, right?
Yeah, I think that's also something. I'm not 100% on that one. I'm just going.
I mean, it's not. I agree. It's not fair if someone like lies to you and says they're 18 and you get, like, I agree.
Short Fat Otaku was talking about this yesterday. I have this document that came out, and I'm like, really? And I went and looked at it. It's completely legit. This did happen.
And it's not just Destiny trying to like cope. You don't think?
I don't watch Destiny. I didn't hear from him. The only time I've watched Destiny recently was when Andrew Branca and Just Logic debated him on Wick the other day. Oh my god, he got fucking smeared, dude. It was great.
No, but I mean, even the court doc, like, was this a court doc that was sent by, like, Destiny's lawyer and his legal team, or is this something that, like, some judges, like, looked at,
It's been submitted into the court. It was her deposition. Destiny hired a private investigator and sought her out, found her actual name, age, location, and got her subpoenaed to come give a deposition. And that's what she said.
Damn, okay. That's spicy. Sounds like I need to make a new video on this. An excuse to make more Destiny content.
But yeah, check out on Wick did Everyone Against Short Fat Otaku, or Everyone The World versus Dev, or whatever, something like that it's called. And that's what they talked about it.
Okay, I will have to watch that, because that does sound.
Yeah, Gibbs was on, so I was watching him.
Yeah, okay, Wicked Wally, good to see you, brother. Yeah, that's fair. I'm slowly becoming convinced anyone who discovers, in quotes, something by gaining account access all of a sudden was probably orchestrating everything from the jump. I definitely did believe from the get-go it wasn't a hacker. I think it was obvious that, yeah, your account didn't get hacked. It's like, it's obviously someone who had access. But the ex-boyfriend thing kind of made sense, because I was like, yeah, people, like, well, like, I've been logged in on girlfriends' devices before, right? Like, and then it's like, if the relationship suddenly ended, then they technically have access to, like, some stuff if I haven't logged myself out on all devices and stuff. So it seemed believable.
I think the hacker was a different thing. I don't really follow any of this. I follow, like, politics. I don't give a flying fuck about YouTube drama. It was brought up on a stream I was watching while driving, is all.
I think it was established that Solo was the guy who released it. His name's Solo. He released it on Kiwi Farms. I'm pretty sure that's established that he is the ex-boyfriend of Rose. So I'm assuming he was the guy that then, or because he originally said he hacked, and then it came out that he was her ex-boyfriend, but I guess it's believable that maybe he knew the whole time. If Destiny comes out looking like rainbows in this, that's gonna be crazy, you know, because brother was kind of shafted, you know, and I thought forever, but maybe not. But it's not the main thing he should be shafted over. It's, you know, it's all the other stuff he said, you know, post Charlie Kirk, post the firefighter that got shot, you know, that's the real. The what?
The Corey Competore, the firefighter.
Yeah. I always remember his first name, always forget his last name. But yeah, Destiny drama is just a gateway to Tyler becoming average drama enjoyer. That is true. That is true.
I actually do keep up in one drama, and it's the Ethan Klein shit because it's fucking great to watch.
Those are the main two. I've been, you know, not keeping up with the Destiny because I got too annoyed with every time, you know, someone on my side, you know, dies, then he, like, you know, will just take the time to, like, be the worst possible psychopathic human being possible on Twitter. But yeah, I do always watch some H3 Hassan stuff, you know, and fucking denims and all that. I mean, yeah, you know, in that sense, yeah. Can't stop watching, can't look away. Train wreck.
A priority economically and morally on abortion. What do you do with all of the other compromises that aren't listed? How does that coalition work and bring you through the end point?
Well, and I'm not a huge fan of either of them, actually. You could also say Thomas Massey on H-1Bs. You could say Thomas Massey on immigration also.
You could say him on Israel also, as far as his biggest donor. It's not AIPAC, but a lot of influence.
Certainly. But what I'm referring to is maybe more something like Trump 2016, who is basically a populist. And you look at Trump in 2016, and to me, that's kind of the prescription, where it's like, in 2016, he comes out, and he says, we're going to get the money out of politics. He says, I'm not going to take donor money. I'm not going to take super PAC money.
Sorry, I was reminded. I don't mean to go back, Tyler, but I was reminded by Testicular Johnson when he brought up Gates. Okay, was not Gates also, and this is off the dome, was he not one of the few people that voted against that sex trafficking act? Like one of the few people that actually came to it. Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
I don't remember what you're talking about now.
Oh God. Okay. Well, let me see. Give me like 2 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, but we're getting off a tangent. I'm trying to get back to the point that was being made is like a newcomer will come into office eventually and say, oh, look at all this shit in these Epstein files. Let's go public with it. Like, why hasn't this cover up is supposedly so large that both parties who hate each other, that are throwing anything that sticks to the wall at each other, just won't touch it. All the new people that are trying to move their way up into leadership and supplant the people that are there won't touch it. The media won't touch it. Like, there's not a single person in government that has a conscience. They're all worried about like a handful of politicians. It just doesn't add up to me.
But okay, but what's the part? Okay, yeah, okay. Well, sorry, I don't want to, you know, not again. Yeah, this is a bit of a but yeah. He was the only vote against the sex trafficking bill. He was the only, and the guy who was accused of some sex trafficking is now the only one who's voting against the sex trafficking bill. I'm just connecting some dots here, but okay. But beyond the gates of it all, you know, beyond the gates of it all, where did we maybe you already answered this question, but why is it not possible in your mind, Tyler, that there could be, it's not all politicians, but it could be enough on either side that if anyone tried to implicate the other one, that it's a Samson protocol. It's like everyone goes down together. And so the Dems don't want to do it because they know the Republicans will be like, okay, fine, show who else was on that island. And now Clinton's going down. Now all these other people are going down, right? Like, is that not a conceivable reason?
Why hasn't a single person gone public is my question. Why hasn't any staffer, any official, any other, like Thomas Massey is fighting his own administration, not teaming up with the Democrats either. He has access to the unredacted documents. Why isn't he saying there's clear proof that X, Y, and Z politicians were on this island doing these things? It just doesn't exist. There was the Epstein, so most people's understanding of the Florida case in 2005 is that Epstein got a sweetheart deal. You know this? Have you heard this as well?
In 05, yeah, he did get a sweetheart deal. That was an insane. That was an insane deal.
They didn't have
Was that
evidence for
Costa
shit.
something?
They didn't.
He was allowed to be out. I fucking remember this. He was allowed to be out of jail for like 12 hours a day on a fucking work release, and he was walking the beaches of like fucking Venice or something, or wherever the fuck he was walking, and caught by his like thing, and then his parole officer said, well, the man needs exercise. He wasn't where he built a literal fake company. I think it was like a tech company or a chemistry company or something. Something in STEM that never did anything, just so he could be allowed work permit release from jail. It was like a 12-month sentence. That was the biggest fucking sweetheart deal ever. At that time, he was implicated on so many charges. How is that not a sweetheart deal?
Because they didn't have evidence for any of the charges. They was just recently
Hey,
released. Hold on, let me get a sentence out. It was just a recently released backdoor congressional hearing with Alex Acosta from, I think, 2019, where he testified about all this shit about Epstein. And he said, when I was brought in, the Florida investigator could only find one single charge to go against him on. I could only find two. There were 33 people that came forward with zero evidence besides their testimony. It was
Are you still sorry, are you quoting Alex Acosta still?
Alex Acosta, yes.
But are you saying it's just that one sentence? You said, are you saying Alex Acosta found two charges?
No. That's a 33. That's something. That's just the facts of the case.
So who found one charge? Who found two?
The state prosecutor in Florida found one single charge that he had enough credibility. He went to the grand jury with several charges. All of them were voted down except for one.
Okay, and you're saying
the same process. He only got two.
Okay, two. What were the fucking charges?
I would have to look, but they were very scant. They didn't have evidence. All they had were people coming forward with no evidence.
I mean, he was. Why would you be given a sweetheart deal? Why would you spend any jail time? If there was not enough evidence, there's not enough evidence. So why'd motherfucker go to jail at all? Right? Like, he went to jail. Why was he treated so nice in jail? I mean, if I recall, there was like a 14 or 15-year-old girl involved in that first charge. Like she wasn't like, this wasn't like, you know,
he just testified this that they didn't have evidence. They took it to a grand jury. The grand jury voted it all down. They said it wasn't enough. So I don't know what to tell you, man. And like, that's what
if they voted it all down, he wouldn't have spent a day in jail, though. Is what I'm saying.
As much as they could at him. They got two charges. Acosta got two charges. The state prosecutor got one. What
were the charges? That is a pivotal thing.
I'm looking. You keep going and asking more questions and saying more things. So I'm letting it load right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
18 months in jail, but only served 13. Federal authorities got so he got charged by the state 14-year-old girl. They took it to the Florida grand jury. Only one count for soliciting prostitution came back.
So soliciting prostitution of a 14-year-old? Is that?
Yeah. And, well,
is that? I'm sorry. If I got that charge, would I spend 12 months in jail and get to be out of jail for 12 hours a day?
The police and prosecutor recommended several felony and misdemeanor charges for unlawful activities with minors, sexual activities with minors. None of them made it through the grand jury. So unless Epstein bought out an anonymous grand jury, there's no proof of that either.
Epstein, okay, I'm looking it up now. Epstein pleaded guilty to procuring a minor for prostitution. That's normally many years in jail.
That was the state charge. I'm getting to the federal one next.
I know, but just look at that. Just that one alone. To get 12 months in jail where you're out half the time, and you didn't just like statutory grape someone. You solicited a minor for prostitution.
He got 18 months in jail for the first offense, 2 felonies. That's.
You think that's normal? You think that's what normal people would get if they solicited a 14-year-old prostitute?
What's the down? Hold on, let's take a look at that.
Because there's no way. There's just no way. Didn't Acosta fucking step down for this, right? Because it was so fucking bungled.
He stepped down. There was a lot of misinformation. Somebody came out and said that Oh, so they called me and said Epstein was connected with higher up members of our government. That never happened. Acosta denies it. Somebody else, it was hearsay.
Yeah, he denied it, but he also said it at the same time. Acosta, I remember this. You're opening my fucking memory, Tyler. You're opening my brow chakra, okay? This was I don't remember the details, but there was something where Acosta had said something previous that the higher ups, they met in some hotel room and the higher ups had said like, hey, don't touch this. And then he walked it back later on, which like to me kind of fits with the conspiratorial angle of like, Epstein didn't Epstein himself, right? It's like people don't necessarily want to go after this type of stuff, right?
Okay, so I looked up sentencing guidelines specifically in Florida for the Florida statute, and it's 21 to 30 months in jail.
For what? For what
soliciting
charge?
Prostitution from a minor. The max charge is 5 years, but for a first offense with no priors, 21 to 30 months in jail. He got 18, so his sweetheart deal was 3 months off.
Okay, can you send me that just so I just want to see that because that seems insane, man. That seems insane.
I'll shoot you the Grok.
That seems insane. A 14-year-old?
I think the laws for minors get more strict as the person gets younger.
Yeah, they at least in most of the states and provinces that I've seen. But 14, that's like you can't it's not even tied to age of consent with that, right? Prostitution, it has to be over 18. So that's like we're talking like 4 years younger. We're not talking like someone who's like 17, on the edge of 17, Stevie Nicks style.
This was pre-2010. In 2010, they changed the laws in Florida, and now it's 5 to 20 years. 5 years minimum, mandatory minimum, if you solicit a minor for prostitution. And federally today, it's also 10 to 25 years, but in the Epstein era, it wasn't. So we've strengthened the laws since then.
So you're saying that's a crazy. Okay, so what you just said, if this is accurate, that is crazy. It's just saying, yeah, Florida post 2010, the first degree, the same crime is now 30 years in jail if the victim is under 15, which she was. Like, I'm just reading what you posted me, but it used to be 21 to 30 months in a state prison, and now it's 30 years, 2 years after Epstein.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the outrage that sparked it to turn that way.
Yeah, I guess that, because that seems a little low. That seems a little low. I understand it's a first-time offense, but
there's other charges that tandem with it. That's usually what got people in jail for a long time. Like certain charges, like the Mann Act, transporting prostitutes around for sex, that would get you 10 years. And things like that. So it usually would be compiled with several other charges, and then when you accumulate them, then the person goes to jail for 4 years. They just never got most of those charges through the grand jury. The only charge they got through the grand jury was that one.
sorry, I'm trying to fact check this myself because that just seems crazy. That seems crazy.
Yeah, so Epstein pled guilty on the state level, and that was at the time the law there. And because of his guilty plea, when you cooperate with law enforcement, you generally get a slightly nicer deal for not making them go to trial and waste all the resources. They'll usually give you a few months off. So 18 sounds...
Okay, so this is where, and I don't know, like maybe we just have to move on in some ways, because when I ask AI, it's telling me that at the time in Florida, the maximum thing was up to 15 years in prison. But the thing you said was like was what was it, 18 months or 21 months or whatever? That's very different than 15 years. So I don't know, but I don't know how to go back in time and find, like, that would probably be a big rabbit hole.
Ask about the pre and post 2010 reforms. There was a big legal reform that strengthened all these penalties after 2010. So no,
I asked what was the statute in 2005 to 2006, and this is what I'm being fed. So I don't know which AI is completely off, because these aren't even close, right? 21 months versus 15 years, like that's like.
And that's the minimum, right?
No, this is the max for me is 15 years.
Ask it what the minimum would be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then after that, clarify it. First time offense.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I did first offense with no priors as well. AI is only as good as the person putting the prompt into it, by the way. People that say AI is bad, it's because they're not descriptive enough.
I'm pretty good at prompting, Tyler, okay?
I'm just
Don't
saying,
question my prompt perspicacity, brother.
If anybody wants to, not you in particular, but if anyone in chat wants to be like, oh, they're using AI, I'm pretty good at giving it prompts and telling it specifically where do I want it to look for things and what I want it to break down. If you rely on just posts, it's fucking shit.
So are you saying you're gaslighting Grok into giving you the answer you want? Is that what I'm hearing?
No,
I'm just kidding.
using the sources I want. So I can give you the law that was passed and enacted in 2010.
Yeah, but that one would be the more severe one. Like we have to. Don't we need the pre one?
Yeah. I can give you the law that changed it from to. I'm pretty sure it would say.
Yeah, like if you have that, because that would be the main thing. I'm seeing 762.02. Is that? But I don't know if I'd have to check this if this is like the right law.
Yeah, so if something was a third-degree felony before 2010, it is now a second-degree felony. If something was a second-degree felony, it is now a first-degree felony, allowing them to punish more harshly for these things. So they reclassified soliciting prostitution from a minor and other charges about abusing kids.
So yeah, if you have a source on something saying that it was at that time, like if you don't have one, that's fine, because I don't have one either. But if you do have one that's saying like before that, the max penalty was 21 months. Because I guess that's what. Because if that's true, then yeah, the sweetheart deal isn't maybe so sweetheart after all.
I'm looking right now.
Because I just keep seeing this like 15-year thing.
It was the Florida statute 79603, the 2007 version.
Okay, so I'm finding the 2013 version.
Okay, so
do you have a link to the 07 one?
Yeah, the maximum penalty was 15 years. Still.
Yeah, that's what I said. But
The first offender with one victim under 18 and no prior record, approximately 44 to 66 months. If they're sentenced in court, that's the sentencing guidelines. If you make a plea deal, that comes down. So
okay.
This is making
now, are you looking at the statute, or are you still looking at a AI thing?
I'm looking at AI still, but I can pull the statute up directly.
Like, can we? I mean, I can't find it either. So I'm not like I'm not like shading your AI or anything. I can't fucking find it.
No, I'll send it to you. So
I found the 2013 version of the statute you cited. Yeah, the problem is I think like I don't know if I have to use like a Wayback Machine thing to.
Oh, come on, mister. I'm good at my prompts. Let's see it.
Well, I don't know if I look, the prompts are one thing, the finding the actual source is the second battle of it all,
Here, this is the 2007 version. I just found it on the first page of my search engine.
Okay. Yeah, I will share this tab. Okay. Isn't it, this is false imprisonment. That's not the same, right?
No, false oh, wait, you might be right. Hold on, let me see if what I sent you. 775084. So the three that are in there that we're looking for, 775082, 083, and 084, those are the ones that contain the punishments for everything. That's just what we need to get to.
Okay, but 775084 is the violent career criminals thing. So that one doesn't seem to have much play because that's people who have multiple felonies.
No.
What do you mean no?
I'll go back to that other one real quick. The 782.
Wait. So not the one I'm on now?
The first one of the three. These are penalties, and these are the punishing guidelines. These are the it's penalties, acceptable sentencing structures, mandatory minimums, and et cetera.
But even this one, the 082, is for certain reoffenders previously released from prison. So this wouldn't count for him either, right?
02. Where does it say that?
I'm highlighting it.
I think.
And the very first thing, penalties, applicability of sentencing structures, mandatory minimum.
The semicolon there, dog. That's
okay. Fair enough.
Mandatory minimum sentences for reoffenders. That's what the semicolon's there for.
Okay, look, I skipped to the end. I do know what a semicolon means. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This is just, it talks about the degrees.
Okay, prior to, and this is 19. Oh God, we're on back in time.
So the felony for a second degree is 15 years. For a third degree.
Okay, but this isn't about sex offenders at all, though. I guess, right? This is just general felonies.
Yeah, this is just the punishments. That's why the reforms.
It would include that.
Yeah, what the reforms did in 2010 was
okay, but his was at the time his was a second degree felony at the time.
Yeah.
By a life term of imprisonment not exceeding 15 years.
Yeah,
so whose prompting is better, brother? 15 years.
15. Yeah, that's what I said. It's a 15-year maximum. But the sentencing guidelines specifically say if you're a first offender with one victim and you're.
Do you have? I don't want to source bro you, but what's the source for that?
That's what we're gonna get to with the other one. Fines, and then the third one is violent criminals, habitual felony offenders for. This is what Brock is telling me where we're looking to see. So we got to read through one of these here. Hold on, let me ask specifically.
Yeah, I'm gonna prompt cuck you right now with my amazing prompt abilities.
Okay, where did you source these sentencing guidelines from 2007?
Home Depot. Yeah, I'm just playing.
We are at an L point yet, Testicle. You just settle the hell down. We're at a point of look it up again. It's browsing a web page.
Wait, it's sending me. Okay, my prompt is sending me to this exact same page. So maybe there is sentencing guidelines. No, there's no sentencing guidelines on this fucking page. Fuck you, ChatGPT.
Now, would this be the only page? Could there be a potentially another page that would reference sentencing guidelines?
That's what we're looking for right now.
Okay.
I don't know if there is sentencing guidelines.
There is a 2007 Federal Sentencing Guidelines Manual that I found. And it talks about base level offenses, cases involving minors 14 to 17 without force, fraud, or coercion. That's typically 30. Oh, what does this mean? Base level offenses, typically 30 for this. Is just cases. Yeah. Okay. Without force, fraud, or coercion. And if the victim is between 14 and 17.
Wait, did you find a link for sentencing guidelines?
Yeah, here. I'll send you. It's a long one. Oh,
and
no,
do we know?
Oh, it's just different ones. Okay.
Well, it must be long. It's taking a long time to load.
No, this isn't that long. I just don't speak legal jargon. I wish we had a lawyer handy for this shit.
Yeah, let's get Pisco in here.
No, Pentuple.
We need a fucking retard to really tell us what's going on.
I was gonna say sometimes just bringing in any lawyer doesn't help the situation.
We just need one to help us sift through the bullshit here, because I don't read legal jargon. I need Pentuple's help, and this is the one thing he's actually like not retarded in. Yeah, I don't see any sentencing guidelines. So that's the maximum for felony, and the felonies should explain. So where is that's Trump's national?
Do they publish sentencing guidelines for this stuff? Like, is this even a thing?
Yeah, there's got to be something that. I didn't think I'd be spending my Saturday night looking at fucking Florida sentencing guidelines from 2007.
For procuring a minor under the age of 18.
This would be a good point to mention that Confluence got into a conversation with Ryan, and then when we started to get into the legalese, it started to look really bad for Ryan and really good for Confluence.
That's true. I did have a W. I did have a W on that one.
No,
But Tyler is not so, not so easy to destroy,
I'm still confident we're right about this. I just gotta find the place where it's like written down. I just don't know where that is. I think Grok is doing its thing here. But they did just differentiate that if it's not coerced, forced, or blah blah. There's like all these things that.
If it is, it's like if it is, from what I'm seeing, it's above that. If it's coerced, I'm reading it's like 15 to life. If it's coerced or a fraud.
Well, I guess, but the question is, was this just the action of him doing it, or was there actual, like, did he actually, I guess, essayed a young girl, or did they just find him committing the act in which they were able to charge him on?
I think he paid for it.
Or paid for it.
So
I would presume
he got a handy and paid for it.
Because I presumed if there was a sexual act behind it, that there would be more charges than just the payment of it.
I don't know. Let me keep asking.
Because even if you can prove he paid for it, then you can, I guess, prove he got the action.
I mean, I think it's proven that he paid and then brought her to the thing. I mean, presumably he didn't film. Well, I mean, knowing Epstein, maybe he did film it, but I don't think you need that though. Like, at least in most statutory cases, it's not like you have like video evidence of something happening, right? It's like if you pay someone for sex, that would be enough to also get like statutory grape.
Yeah. And it being a minor, it would it would be something that you wouldn't have to prove in a sense of like, was it consensual or not? Because it would automatically be statutory.
So trafficking, if you're trafficking, essentially you're the one that puts the girl there. Hiring a prostitute, I'm seeing from this, is not the same as trafficking. Trafficking is specifically getting.
I think that's because he brought her across state lines, didn't he?
That would be considered traffic. Yeah, if you travel with her, but if you just get her in the car and get a handy or something like that from a prostitute, I don't think that's considered. I think that's just soliciting a prostitute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought trafficking was something similar. So my bad.
I mean, that's fair to say.
I'm pretty sure trafficking is when you. So like soliciting a minor for sex, I think is one thing, and then I think if you traffic them, like bring them across state lines, then I think that's,
okay,
higher charge.
Grok is saying here that it's giving me something for the recommended second sentencing charges under 2007 CPC sentencing table 921022-1A. So that's what we're looking for our proof. I also be mean to Grok. She likes it.
Grok is a she for you? That's crazy. Yeah. That's the craziest thing you've said all night.
I have the voice thing. It's a chick's voice.
Grok is like male coded. I don't know, man. I think your Grok is trans. I don't know how you feel about that, but. The best I can find is like a score sheet with like a point system, but it's not.
Bring up the graph.
Yeah, we need like a chart. I don't know if this is the same thing that Tyler sent me or not, but it's not. It's giving me like a complex point scoring thing, I guess, on how much of a nonce you are. But it doesn't say like, oh, if you get this many points, you get like this sentence or anything like that. And so that's kind of the problem. So I don't know if I'm like looking at the right thing, but I'm gonna pull it up.
I think I hit a brick wall. I have to way back it now.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Is maybe we will all have to way back it, which might be maybe that is
Because this is the sentencing guideline page, and it's just a bunch of JavaScript runtime errors and fucking compiling errors and exemption errors and compiling errors and all sorts of fun shit. Basically,
Okay.
it's not able to tap into the. It's been deleted out of the database improperly to leave all this shit up.
So this is the best I've found from the Supreme Court of Florida. I don't know if this is the same thing that you sent me, Tyler. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But if we go down, if you can see my screen, we do eventually get to a complex point scoring system, and it tells you how it should be like scored and stuff. Like it says like legal status violation equals 4 points, firearms 18 or 25 points. But then if you keep, and it like has a whole little worksheet, but like it doesn't give, like, from what I'm seeing in this document, it doesn't say what the sentence should actually be. It just gives this score sheet, but it doesn't like say, at least from what I can see on this site, it just gives you an arbitrary score. but it doesn't say like, oh, this amount of points equals like 12 months in jail. This amount equals like 36 months in jail.
That's what I'm looking at here is it's an estimate Grok is giving based off this 2007 chart, but unfortunately I'm having it does give me let's look at that. It gives me a link. Maybe it has the chart in it. What are you on? What's it called?
What I'm on is the Supreme Court of Florida SCO1-1446, the amendments to Florida Rules of Criminal Procedures and Punishment.
Okay, this is frostlawflorida.com from 2007. Oh, and this contains sentencing structures. Holy fuck. Well, I'm a little in over my head here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. I just know mine. I'm like, I don't know what all the points mean, but I know mine is not giving any like sentencing is the problem. It's just giving the point structure, but it's not like even this. Maybe this is God. I guess we'd have to. This is probably over my head. Maybe this is the thing on my screen if you can see it. If total sentence points are greater than 44, then you take the total sentence points minus 28, and then you times it by 0.75, and that's the lowest permissible prison sentence in months. So there's some math formula that I guess could be worked out.
So to be a judge, do you have to have like a math degree?
No, I think they might have a worksheet for it. Yeah, and it's just basically like it's how much they can punish you as to what degree of felony the crime you commit is. And that was what the 2010 reforms did, was bump all trafficking and sex with minors up a whole degree. Everything went from 2 to 3, and everything went from, or was 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, the other way.
But I guess like, and I mean, yeah, obviously I don't think we are able to do this right now.
Are you able to search search for words in this format?
Yeah.
Type in soliciting and see what keywords pop up.
So solicitation is what they use. So
okay.
Okay, we have
I didn't
one.
know if it would name each individual charge.
Well, if we know it's a second-degree felony, then it shouldn't matter, right? I think. Because then we should just. Okay, wait. The thing is here. So you'd put an S in here, and then S equals. Wait, what is the? If qualifier, please check. No, I guess maybe that doesn't add to the points. So it does take into account victim injury, additional offenses, primary offense, prior record. But yeah, this is like, I mean, we'd have to, this would probably take a couple hours to like fill all this stuff out and figure out which, so I guess, I don't know. So I
maybe
guess,
this is why the left keeps releasing people. Maybe they just don't want to do this worksheet.
Yeah, they're just like, fuck this. This is just too much.
Chesa Boudin comes in and is like, what the fuck is this? I just wanted to let people out of jail. This is crazy.
So I guess we don't fully know unless we take the time to fill out this whole sentencing sheet and hopefully don't make any mistakes. Which, I don't think we have the wherewithal or, or desire to necessarily do.
Grok did that for me. I'm going to go with Grok's estimate and say that this wasn't very far off the normal sentencing.
You think Grok actually used his PDF and actually, bro, you trust Grok, you trust her more than I trust her, okay? I'm using her very loosely because, trans and stuff, but,
I mean, to be fair, maybe the timing's not the element of the sweetheart deal. Maybe it's more so the, I guess the work permit that came with it, allowing him to leave for like 12 hours a day. And like
that was even better to him, though. That's better for him.
6 out of 7.
He got that after. He made that like weird fucking fake company after, so he could also be out of prison. Not only did he get the sweetheart deal, he also then got work release up to like 12 hours a day. And I think he might have been out on weekends or something. There's something fucking mental about it.
Okay, I'm asking one more time for it to use that exact 2007 sheet again and tell me. Let's see. I trust AI here, like this is exactly what you use it for. Hey, do this thinking for me. It's a little over my head. And I made sure to turn on deep dive as well, so we're getting a real well thought.
Oh yeah, you have to have that. They have to have that deep think on.
Confluence. Does a company named Carbonite sound familiar?
Was that his fucking?
That's what popped up. It's like CARBYNE. It was originally called Reporty Homeland Security.
It might be. I know it was like a STEM company that didn't really do anything from my memory. But I'm going a few months back.
It's the one where Ehud Barak also had a controlling interest into it.
Oh, that would be a little sussy. Ehud Barak. Oh, the Mossad connection. And we all know Epstein was connected to Mossad. That is actually true. That's actually true.
Reported by one guy making claims in a book and...
No, not reported by one. No, not by one guy. No. The person he was originally in business with, when that guy died, all of the former heads of the Israeli intelligence agency attended that guy's funeral. Okay, and Ehud Barak, he was personal friends with Ehud Barak. Okay, the guy that was like the fashion guy. I can't remember his fucking name now, but Epstein was like, it was like some, maybe it was a Ghislaine connection. I can't remember. But it wasn't the Victoria's Secret guy. Yeah, it was the Victoria's Secret guy. And when he got like knocked off a yacht or something mysteriously, he just like fell off his yacht and died. It happens all the time.
Didn't that happen to Ghislaine Maxwell's dad? Isn't he the one that fell off the yacht?
Maybe I'm confusing those two things. Yeah. Maybe that was Ghislaine's dad. But whatever, one of them when they died.
It's a good way to go out.
It is a good way to go out. But one of them, when they died, they were attended. I know this for sure. Their funeral was attended by all former heads of Israeli intelligence.
I'm pretty sure that's Maxwell.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure that's Maxwell.
I didn't see you there. I think I need to go eat. I will get this last thing to you while Grok loads, and then I'm gonna probably. Wife, you hungry?
Are you talking to me? I'm just kidding.
He's hungry for penis.
No, she's full. Yeah, I think she fell asleep. Wow, dude, this one's slow as fuck. Come on. Any day now, Brock. Anyways, I'll just DM it to you.
You're asking the wrong question.
Peace out, blood.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. Always a fun time.
Take her easy.